Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I thought today I'd do a little bit of a different video for you, just to sort of, not daily diary because this won't be a regular feature, but just maybe a day in the life, because the Rover's going to get a bit of action. I'm just going to take it for a spin around the block to keep its wheels turning over. That's why I've moved the Allegro and the Jazz out the way, and then I'm going to take the Allegro for a drive later on to go and do a few errands. So pop along for the ride and we'll just have a general chat and a general life update. It's good to be back in this old beast again, even if it's not for very long, just a bit of a drive down the country lanes, although these cyclists coming up are going to make that a little bit trickier. Thought I'd give you a slightly different camera angle today. There is a bit of mount in the way, so I apologise for that. Let's get around here quickly. Oh, that was a risk, but I've got away with it. The problem on twisty roads, you can never get past properly. Yeah, there is the annoying trim rattle that we get from this sometimes, but I might just have to just unscrew something and screw it back in again. But yeah, I really am missing using this, because it's just such a good daily driver, this thing. Obviously it's not been for a bit and it's going to get more regularly used next year. I've been relying on the Honda loads basically since this has needed its head gasket repairs. What is going on here? Come on. Deary me, I don't know how slow you have to take a corner. But yeah, the temperature's staying rock solid because the gasket hasn't gone yet, as you guys know. But obviously when you've had the symptoms it was displaying with the mechanic, you don't want to pretend they don't exist and keep driving it as you usually do, because you just cause more damage and your bill would be even bigger, or even worse, it could end up damaging the car beyond economical repair. As you guys saw last week, I have started this up, but this is the first time its wheels have actually been turned since I drove it back from the mechanic when the fault was diagnosed, and that would have been about 3 weeks ago probably. So I hate having cars sitting for a while, so whilst it's still drivable, you want to just give it a bit of a turnover every couple of weeks. But it's great on twisty roads, this. It won't win any first prizes for handling, but the steering is still really good. It's nicely weighted. And it's just easy. Because the best party piece about this car, well, there's two really. The first, that it's a Honda underneath, so it's built really well, and the second one is just how comfortable this is. If you think about the country we live in at the moment, with just how awful the roads are, I must have said this about this car about 6,000 times before, but something with suspension like this is perfect for the roads that we have. Unfortunately, the road we're driving on now actually has been resurfaced lately. There is a speed hump coming up, I think. So I'll just see if you can, if you guys can get the sensation from where you are about how comfy this car is. I think there's one down here, or am I forgetting that? Oh yeah, here we go. Obviously slow down, don't go silly on it. But yeah, barely felt that at all. Wasn't the most substantial speed bump in the world, but it handles bumps better than the other two cars do. The Jazz is a bit jiggly with the suspension, and the Allegro, the hydrogas does need redoing. And here we go again. Easy. No problems at all. Someone out for a jog. Can't do the overtake safely this time. rattle is frustrating. So I will get that investigated at some point. Controversial subject, I know, so I probably won't delve, I should say, not weld, into that level of conversation. It does seem to be idling a bit lower now, this, compared to what it was before, but whether the thermostats help with that, but I don't see how it would, really. Oh, there's a horse in the middle of the roundabout. I don't know if you guys saw that there. What? I mean, that's... Of all the places to put your horse... What? Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, there's grass there, but there's also cars all the time. It's going to spook it. Oh, that's not sitting well with me, that isn't. So on the return leg now, so I might just give you a bit of a life update actually, because I've said everything about this that I need to. Oh, actually, I'll let you know when this should be sorted. It should be sorted before October is out. It's going in on the 27th for its head gasket repairs and the radiator replacement. So by the start of November we should be getting regular rover action once again. But yeah, life update. So it's my first full week back at work since a really nice summer holidays. I didn't do anything particularly spectacular. I did go away to the Dales for a bit. I didn't share any videos of that on here, but that was a really nice trip away with Alice. I need to get Alice back on the channel. You've not seen from her for a while. Can't get my words out this morning. But it was a good reset. And it was obviously an anxious return to work because I've had to get used to a new way of working. If you're new to the channel, I'm a teacher, and this year my arrangement is me working at my regular school for 3 days a week, and then Thursdays and Fridays, in order to keep my wages up to full time, I'm taking on supply work. And this week it was good because I ended up at a school that I'd worked at for a couple of years, really fond memories of as well, and the main people that I'd worked with are still there now, and they needed me for a bit of specialist subject cover because what they needed was what I teach anyway. So that was really nice, and the best thing about it was I knew about it in plenty of time. It wasn't like you waited by your phone in the morning anxious about where you're going to end up. I knew a week in advance, so that is much easier when it comes to doing that, because that's the hardest thing for me. I don't tend to mind too much when I'm actually doing the work, but that weight of wondering where you're going to end up doesn't do someone like me who's got a very, very oversensitive brain when it comes to overthinking much good. But the motivation is going to be anything that I earn on supply is what I can spend on myself, because my 3-day salary should pretty much cover all the outgoings, the mortgage, petrol, energy bills, etc, etc. And then anything I do on supply is something that's I can add to the savings. So that will obviously help with the head gasket repair for this and the new radiator to be installed. Also to buy a back box for this around Christmas time. Hopefully to do some painting repairs on the Allegro and to get the hydrogas done. And also to save up for another fleet member, which is going to hopefully be the main news for next year. Let's be a bit more careful when it comes to overtaking this cyclist, because I can't see around this corner, so let's actually do this properly compared to taking a risk like I did last time. I mean, you're brave cycling on this road. It involves a lot of of energy. I think that's good. Yep, we're good. Make sure I give him plenty of room, because he was being a really considerate cyclist there, far over as he could. Actually, you know what? Let's pull over and get some external shots. Let's do that. Back home now. I miss driving this so much. God, I love this car. It's so tempting just to use it more, but I've got to be careful, obviously, because of the repairs it needs. So it's had a good run there, so should be okay for another couple of weeks, and then I'll take it for a spin again. Right, let's get the Jazz back behind this, and then I'll take the Allegra out and get some errands completed. So we're in the Allegro now, just running a couple of errands for my mum. This has been living under a cover for the last week because the weather's been really bad. I have let it get wet a few times actually, so I mean it can cope with the rain, but with the level of downpours that we've had, I started to feel sorry for it, so I chucked the cover over it at the start of the week, and I've just rolled with that for a bit, and I will put the cover back over it when I get back, because there is due to be some rain later today, so I should be able to get back in time to miss that. Today's rain isn't going to be too bad. Classic's getting wet in the odd passing shower is fine, but then obviously when you've got a downpour like the one we've got due tomorrow about to happen, then ideally you want to have your car protected. But you have to remember that these were used in all weathers when they were new in the 70s, and it's still here. Yes, it spent a lot of its early years in the garage, I think about 20 years in total. But I don't just buy a classic car and just leave it, just drive it and don't do any checks on it. If you're proactive with everything and you check the main points of rust every so often, then you're fine. You'll spot any rust long before it becomes a problem. We might have to wait for the traffic lights here. That might be a nice bonus. Let's change down. There we go, look at that. Brilliant. Let's get a bit of speed up on this road. Someone's having a bonfire there, but that's okay. Not been so lucky with these traffic lights. I don't know about you, but I really like the smell of a bonfire. It's, I don't know, it's comforting. I wish I could have a wood burner in my house, but I haven't got a chimney, and I won't really have any room to put it anyway. So that's definitely on my bucket list. I mean, you can't have coal fires anymore, can you? Or can you? Or is it just, have you got to have all sorts of legislation before you can have one agreed? Because you go to old heritage railways and there's still coal fires in station buildings there. Well, I suppose that doesn't count as a domestic living arrangement, does it? I suppose that must be the various criteria that whether you can or cannot have one. My grandparents, who still do actually live in Halifax, in the old house that they lived in, they had a coal fire. And that used to be my favourite thing ever when I was younger. I would always love in the winter to get the coal on it, get a nice fire going. And if it was light, I'd always get excited to go outside and see the smoke coming out of the chimney. I'm sad, I know. We're a bit slow in this lane. We're doing under 50 and the speed limit's 70, so I don't know who's choosing to be annoying, but everyone's overtaking, so I'm stuck in this lane now. The problems that being patient has you. Even lorries are overtaking this clown in front of this Golf. Can I get past after this Jazz comes by? I think I can. Come on, Legro. Feel the power. Yes. Hurry up, please. Wasn't an old person, it was a young chap actually. But that gives you faith in humanity, that there's plenty of young people that are still driving carefully. I should also go through the plans for this car. I don't know if I have done recently, but I'm hoping next year to get the hydrogas done. But I'm going to have a crack at actually removing the spheres and fitting them. So all the costs I'd be paying for would be a refurbishment cost, excuse me, rather than a fitting cost as well. Got some more traffic lights here, so I could sit for a bit. And the other thing for this, as I've said, I do want to get some paint done on this. I mean, that's going to be a job for, at the earliest, late spring, but it's what money have I got at the time, and specifically would I have what I wanted to add, the fleet member that I want to add next year. So that's the debate really. It will get done. I mean, the paint doesn't look great in some areas, but it's not rusty, and that's the key thing. The main rust, as you've seen on the car, which was the engine bay, I've dealt with that, and it looks quite nice as well. I'm happy with the end result, as you guys have seen. Lovely smooth car, this. It's lovely. But if you check out my Instagram, actually, also called THD Motoring, I took this to where I volunteer at the Mount Sorrel and Rothley Community Heritage Centre, which is basically a little railway yard. And I took this there for the first time, and my friend Phil also bought his early 1980s, 1982 I think, Lancia Vita Coupe. It's a beautiful thing. So of course we put these two together and got some lovely photos. And there were some lovely classics that they've just put in the museum as well. They've got an Austin 7 Ruby, a Mark 1 Transit, which is immaculate, and a Willys Jeep from World War II. So yeah, check those pictures out on my Instagram if you haven't seen them already. That's 55 miles an hour, and I'm assuming you can still hear me clearly enough. I don't feel like I'm having to really raise my voice to talk to you. And remember, this Allegro is the base spec, the smallest engine, the 1.1 litre, and the basic trim level, the deluxe. And here we go, keeping up with everything and not drowning your ears out in the process. Oh, we haven't got a long queue here, have we? Oh, God's sake. How can we have a long queue at God. Might go back the other way when I come back. Sorry if this isn't riveting watching, viewers. I thought today just some, you know, simple driving footage. But this traffic jam isn't exactly going to amuse people, is it? I might save you some boredom and switch the camera off for a bit. Finally clear of that traffic jam. Wasn't too bad actually, we were moving most of the time. Let's go on to another fast stretch of road. Get past this lorry. Come on, Allegro. Come on. We're going. Hey! And there's 60. After quite a while. Yeah, this Discovery seemed desperate to pass me, but they have finally. Caught some external shots of the car in a minute. Here we go. Sunshine as well. Right, let's get these errands done. And in here is the Rover's replacement radiator. So that's one big piece of the jigsaw that I did buy the other week in hand. So in a few weeks' time, the plan is to buy the head gasket set. Right, that's the errands done. Just time to get a couple of things from the shop. Right, that's my shopping done. Time to go home now. On the way home now, and we've got a nice retro spot in front of us. It's a K-Reg Land Rover Discovery. I don't know if that's the Mark 1 or the Mark 2. I think that might be the Mark 1. But you never really see any of those around. Let's zoom in a bit, shall we? Coming the people of the law are watching this. Can't imagine why they would be. But just in case, reassures you. You can see the camera mount in the top left of the screen. It's not the most professional channel in the world, this. Slow down a bit for this roundabout because this thing does lean quite a lot in the corners. There we go. At least there's no traffic now anyway. So I'll see you when I get home. So, there's everything put back in the right order again, back at home. Now I think it's time to throw the cover over this before it starts raining again. There we go, all nicely protected. I do really want some lunch, but if I don't shift my arse, my washing is going to be absolutely ruined. So that's the next job. Just about got away with that. Doesn't look like it, but rain is starting to fall out there, so good job. Just realised how filthy these windows are.
Ew!
Right, it's 2 o'clock, so it's quite late, but I'm not going to turn down lunch, so let's get that made now. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Blah, blah, blah. I think there's no risk of that being a copyright strike. And I'll probably lose about half my subscribers. I'm so glad I put the cover on when I did. God, it's chucking it down now, and there was just a flash of lightning as well. Bloody hell. How quickly could this weather turn now? And if by magic, the rain is gone. So final job of the day before settling down for the evening is to get some petrol into this beast. Well, that's all that sorted. Now time to go home. Right, that's all full and only £33. Cyclist to deal with, and we can't get round yet. Now we can. So yeah, the plan is to eventually rely less on this and more on the Rover, but obviously with the Rover being the way it is at the moment, this has been practically what I've been using all the time, but the Allegro just for the occasional bit of weekend use. Although I will take the Allegro to a show, not a show, a midweek car meet actually, Griffin's Head that you've seen before. It should be a dry day on that day as well. But yeah, this is doing what it should do, being reliable and dependable, and still being cheap to run as well. Oh, what's that coming the other way? Is that a Honda? Oh, something I'm not sure. Hope you saw that on there. Another nice spot today. But I do want to have a look at the steering on this at some point, because I think well, I know the tracking's out slightly because the wheel doesn't quite sit straight. And it is quite twitchy. I don't know whether it's a feature of the car or whether it's worth investigating the tracking, but I'll have that done quite soon. Always something to do. This doesn't ask so much, as you know, and to be honest, once the Rover's engine's been sorted and I've got the back box replaced, it'll just be minor cosmetic stuff on that. after the rain earlier on, it's turned into quite a nice evening. And speaking of evening, I think that's what I'm going to wind down to enjoy now. So make some dinner and get something strong and liquidy to wash it down. So strong I'm thinking it's called beer. And then Simon's coming tomorrow from Smashing Pistons. He's going to bring over his new car that he's recently had. His bought's the wrong word, it's a swap deal, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because you can go and view his channel, Smashing Pistons, to give him some much welcome views. He's just hit 1,000 subscribers, by the way, Simon, and he really deserves it. So keep allowing his channel to grow, because he really has done well, and he's had to wait patiently to get to 1,000, about 3 years I think. So yeah, that's my plan, wind down, and hopefully you've enjoyed this. This won't be a regular thing, but I just thought, you know, a little day in the life video. I don't even know what this video is going to be called yet. Random wafflings from a loser, most likely. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please become a channel member, because you'll be able to get access to content like this earlier than everybody else. And once the channel membership starts to grow, I'll do some exclusives. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.